Hey Jesse, how
Hey,
you doing? So this is your first one here. What did you heard from the rest of the staff or even the players about their experience last year coming to the college football playoff?
great experience. I think the guys have said it all week. Like last year, there was a little bit of, we won the Big Ten, we beat Ohio. This year, I think the mission has been clear from the beginning of where we wanted to go, how we wanted to get there. So it's just been a focus on trying to get better each day, trying to get better, trying to be at our best at the right time. So we're looking forward to a great challenge with TCU.
You faced a couple kind of challenging passing offenses the last two games. You got another one coming up. What did you learn from the last two, and what's your kind of overall approach when it comes to facing yet another one?
That we have really good players. We got to try to put them in position to be successful. We got to limit explosive plays. I think going back the last two games, Ohio, there's an explosive play that hit us in the first half, like to have back, a couple others. Purdue was a little bit more like dink and dunk and just matching up our fits and zone coverages. And so great learning experiences for our guys going into this type of offense. So much respect for TCU and the players they have, the quarterback they have, the coaches they have. And there'll be a great challenge. But hopefully we've learned a lot about ourselves and been able to fix some issues that have popped up. And looking forward to seeing how it looks on Saturday.
You guys haven't faced a ton of mobile quarterbacks this season. I mean, a few, but not maybe to this extent. I guess, how do you prepare for that, and how prepared do you feel like you guys are at this point?
He's a really, really good football player, second in the Heisman. Desmond Howard, I was catching Sports Center while I was working out. He called him the right-handed Tim Tebow, which was a pretty high remark. So I do see that. He's a guy that makes everybody around him better. He's willing to do whatever it takes to move the ball, to make plays, and so he puts his body on the line as a runner quite often. I think we see it every day. I think, we go against J.J. McCarthy all the time in practice. As much good on good as we do is great work for this type of guy. We've seen a couple, certainly not the last two. The last two, passers have been more sit in the pocket type of guys. So a different test here. It'll test our discipline as pass rushers. It'll test our discipline in coverage to be able to stay in coverage when he extends plays. And so it'll be a great test and one we look forward to.
How big of a boost will Mike Morris give you out there again?
Yeah, Mike's a great player. One of the first guys I met with when I got here, and he's had such a tremendous year. So I'm obviously very excited to see him back and see him back at full strength.
I know you're still relatively new around
Yeah,
here.
it's a major factor.
Familiar with the
especially at
defense.
his
I'm wondering
position. You can see when
how
the
much
game's
did
on
you
the
want
line,
to change
he's
or
going to
tweak?
will.
Obviously, you're always going to put a spin for
Yeah.
your own, but how much did you try to keep what's in place because it works so well?
Yeah, I think it was cool to walk in and like there be a system in place as far as just overall terminology, how we set the front, how we do all the things. I think anytime you come in new, you definitely have your own, I have my own philosophy on how to do things, how to stop people, how to play certain coverages. And so certainly some things that we've tweaked, but overall it was great for the guys to have a baseline of the system and then just to kind of be able to come in and work off of that. Made it really feel like second year of the defense for these guys.
Again, you're still relatively new here, but I feel like your defense is an interesting mix of sort of like some developmental players who
Yeah, it was a
have shown
two-minute drive,
successes.
I believe.
From your outside in and now inside watching
Yeah, I watched him
what
right there.
makes
But,
Michigan good in sort of
he
developmental
scrambled.
players.
Ben Herbert, Jim Harbaugh, the way we operate, the way that we work on football. I think to get good at football, you have to play football. You have to practice football. So we practice really hard. In the spring and fall when it's not necessarily game on the line that week, we get a lot of reps. Our guys are always getting better at football. They work really hard in the off season. It's a really good mix of guys that, Will Johnson's a five-star. He comes in and plays as a freshman. Mike Morris is in his fourth year. Mikey Sanderson, these guys are in their fourth year, and now they're showing to be really, really high-end players. And so I think, number one, we don't, you always want to recruit the best players you can, but I also think fit and qualities that you think can develop. Not everybody is developed in high school at the same rate. So I think when you recruit guys that have really good traits, really good qualities, the goal is that you're your players play like 5 stars when they're in college, not regardless of how they played in high school. So I think we got a bunch of guys that play like they were higher recruited than they were, and it's a credit to Ben Herbert, Jim Harbaugh, all the guys that have been here developing these guys over the years.
Mike seems to be an especially interesting developmental success. Switching positions.
Mikey is the epitome of how we play, the epitome of this program, kind of a willingness to do whatever it takes for the team to be successful. I think that's really where it started. It was like, hey, there's an opening on defense. What do you think? And like didn't bat an eye of wanting to take the challenge of moving over, replacing a first-round draft choice, and nonetheless. And so I think that mentality, that attitude, really just that's the whole program right now, and that's everybody's willing to do whatever it takes for us to be successful. And so seeing him move over, seeing his journey, I think back on the year and the plays that he's made in critical moments. It's incredible. It's a movie script the way he's played this year. So I'm excited to see him get a chance to do it again this Saturday.
You talked about